During my last video, someone jumped in the comments and asked, since Fray was so respected, how come no one from his crew seeked revenge for his death? And that's a pretty good question. But there's a lot of factors that play into the word revenge, whether it happens or not. See, when we all read up on Fray, we read how stand-up he was, how good of a leader, and how respectable he was. But when we get to the part where he's killed and no retaliation, it leaves us all confused. No retaliation, no war, no street explosion, just silence. And there can be a few things behind silence. It could be fear, it could be strategy, or it could be betrayal. Now, this isn't about weakness. It's about survival, loyalty, and the kind of street logic only real hustlers understand. See, Michael Fray wasn't an average hustler. He was the ambassador of DC. When problems broke out, Fray was the one who could walk in the room, calm everyone down, and stop a war before it started. He wasn't just respected, he was loved. Even his enemies showed him respect. That's how deep his name ran through the city. But of course, when Alpo come into play, everything started changing. DC had its own rhythm, its own code. See, Poe came in wild, fast, and loud. Money, cars, women, attention. He brought that Harlem energy that just didn't fit. The thing about DC, it don't matter how much money you got. If you move wrong, they make you feel it. Now, Fray didn't like how Alpo operated, of course. He didn't like outsiders coming in, being flashy, and turning DC hustlers against each other. He saw Alpo as chaos. Too much talk and too much attention, and too many murders following him. Just like I said in one video, Fray heard about all the BS Alpo was doing. He had ears in New York. And Fray didn't care too much for him. He didn't respect him. And that right there, that's what made Alpo see Fray as a problem. Of course, Alpo wasn't going to go head up with Fray. He knew how deep Fray ties were. Fray was plugged in everywhere, from the hustlers on the corners to the OGs behind the scenes. So Alpo started thinking like a chess player. If he couldn't take Fray head on, he'd do it from the inside. And that's where MJ come in. MJ was somebody who could move around Fray with no suspicion. They had history. He could laugh with him, sit with him, talk business. Nobody would blink twice. That made MJ the perfect setup piece. Alpo knew MJ was grimy enough to do the job if the money was right. And it definitely was, so Alpo paid MJ to get rid of Fray. Now, when MJ pulled the trigger, it shook the whole city. Nobody saw it coming. The man who kept peace in the streets was gone, and nobody knew who to blame. And there was chaos for sure. The whole city fell off balance. But here's where it got darker. MJ didn't just take the money. He tried to cover his own tracks. He started spreading rumors, saying that he thought Wayne Perry did it. And that was foul because Wayne was Alpo's right-hand man, his muscle. If you wanted something ugly done, of course, Alpo would go to Wayne. Wayne was the one who handled it. MJ knew that. So when he got around Fray crew, he pointed the finger at Wayne. People started to believe him. He threw dirt on the same crew that paid him, trying to hide his hand. Like, that's crazy. See, Poe gave MJ that assignment for a reason. He wanted to fall back, stay in the clear, and cut ties, and have MJ do the job. See, Alpo thought he was playing chess, but there's no chess playing around MJ. Like, he didn't want that heat to fall back on him and his crew. And MJ brought the heat right to them. He didn't care. And I'm sure Alpo and Wayne didn't appreciate that. See, that lie caused a lot of confusion in the streets. Fray's people didn't know who to trust. They thought maybe Wayne or Alpo, or maybe someone else. The streets got foggy, and that fog bought MJ time. And we all know by the time the truth came out years later, Alpo already confessed. He admitted that MJ was the one who did it, and that he paid him because MJ was the only one in this circle that can get close to Fray without raising an eyebrow. But yeah, during that time, Alpo and Wayne were already on a killing spree. They were too wild, man. The same week Fray got killed, they hit Demencio. Now, Demencio was another big name out of NY. Two respected figures gone within a couple days, and it made Alpo and Wayne the most hated men on the East Coast. DC and New York, one of them gone. The energy around them boys was just too hot, and you could feel it in the air. And Alpo ain't stupid. That's when he started to realize, man, I can't stay in DC. Every corner he turned, Somebody wanted revenge, man, from every angle. Every car behind him he watched. The feds was watching. The streets were plotting, and bodies kept piling up. He knew it was only a matter of time before somebody caught him slipping. And that's why Alpo started planning to slide to Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta. Atlanta was his escape plan, a place to fall back, rebuild, and get away from the storm he created in DC and New York. He wanted to hand DC over to Wayne Perry, get him set up a little bit, and start fresh down south, where he could still make moves without the same heat. But that plan never got far. The streets already caught up to him. The law was on him heavy, and there was no running from the mess he made. Now the question everyone still asks, why wasn't there no retaliation for Michael Fray? Why didn't his crew slide back? The truth is, they wanted to. They wanted to badly. But wanting revenge and getting revenge ain't the same thing. You have to plot for revenge. His crew wanted payback, but they also wanted to stay alive and stay out of jail. Not only do you have to find your enemy, you have to wait for the right time, and that's the hardest part. You can know exactly where your enemy live, but that don't mean you could just slide through and handle it. That's movie shit. You gotta think about the civilians, law enforcement, and the chance of a shootout. You can't just crash out over emotions. See, Fray, he built a solid crew. They were smart. They moved just like him. They had to move smart. They couldn't just spin the block. They had to plan, watch and wait. They had to balance anger with patience, which ain't very easy when your homie just got killed. And the truth is, Fray wouldn't even want his crew to crash out and move out recklessly on his behalf. He taught them to move like gentlemen and do things the right way. See, Michael Fray's death shows something deep, that sometimes silence in the streets ain't fear, it's strategy. His people wasn't scared, of course. They were smart. They understood that the real power move wasn't pulling the trigger too soon. It was knowing when not to. See, in the streets, it comes with a smile and a hug. And that tells you that everyone's plotting. You don't know who is who. The person that do you dirty is always the person that's the closest. The person that steals from you had the code to the safe, knew where your stash was. And the person that pulls the trigger is usually the person that knows all your moves, know when you're comfortable, and know the time when you're not wearing that gun. Now, when it comes to getting revenge on Alpo, of course, dudes would have been plotting, trying to get guys from his own crew to switch on him. Moral of the story, or moral of the video, is you either crash out and be stupid and, throw everything away, go to jail, and that's that. Or you sit back, wait for time to go on, and you plot, make a strategic move. And it is what it is, man. But don't forget, hit up members22.com, check out the merchandise, become a Patreon member, get the likes up, hop in the comments, get involved, don't be a stranger. Don't forget, man, when you subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on the content. Check out my last couple videos, check out the playlist. Y'all be easy out there. I'm out.